Hey everybody, this is David here, aka Chessman, and I'm here today. We're going to look over the 1995 World Championship chess match between Garry Kasparov and Viswanathan. This series, I basically go over different tournaments, usually the World Chess Championship matches, and we look and see what openings they used in those games, so we can add it to our notes that we should for openings that we should learn. The best players in the world, they've done the work for us. They've used their brains and they have teams and they do all kinds of research and they study and they figure out what openings to use for these matches. And so we should just enjoy they've done all the work and we should just learn from them. That's what I think. I think that's a great way to learn. So that's what we're doing today. So I've covered all the World Chess Championships I could find up till now. So this is the 1995 one, 1995. Garry Kasparov, Viswanathan. Garry was the world champion. It was the best of 20 games, and he won it in 18. So there's 18 games to look at. Garry won it 10.5 points to 7.5 points. All right, so we're gonna dive into it. If you've seen my videos before, you know 365chess.com has this unique feature where you can click on the exact opening they used and play through the moves. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll start with game one. Game one, they played a B85 Sicilian, Scheveningen, classical variation with queen c7 and knight c6. And in case you're not taking notes and you're just watching visually, I'm going to play the moves out. It went e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, e6, bishop e2, a6, castles kingside, queen c7, f4, knight c6. That was the B85 Sicilian. If you come to this website and you play the moves, what you can do is you can look at what grandmasters have played these openings and check their games out and see what moves they made from this position. I recommend that as well. Add that to your notes. There's a lot of notes to be had. There's a lot of information to be had out there in the world, and especially in chess. So hopefully we're not overloading anybody. But that was the first game. We got 17 more to go. All right. The next game, they played an E34 Nimzo Indian, classical Noah variation. And the opening goes D4, knight f6, C4, E6, knight C3, bishop B4, queen C2, D5. This was played by Anatoly Karpov in, I guess, 22 games. Also Nigel Shorts in 27 games. So it's got to be a good one to know. That was the E34 Nimzo Indian. Alright, looks like we just got this one. I'm just making sure. Yep, it's the B85 Sicilian, Scheveningen, classical variation with queen c7, knight c6. We've already seen it, so we're going to continue on. The next game, they played an A17 English opening, and the opening went C4, knight f6, knight c3, e6. That was the A17 English opening. The next one we're going to skip because it's the B85 Sicilian again. We already got that, so we're going to go on to game 6. Game 6, they played a C80 Roy Lopez Open Tarrasch defense. And the opening goes E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, castles kingside, knight takes e4. That was was played by Nigel Short and Victor Korchnoi. Those are the only ones that I recognize. So that was the C80 Roy Lopez. In Game 7, we're going to skip that one. It was the B85 Sicilian again. So we're going to go on to Game 8. Let's see, Game 8. Game 8, we got the C45 Scotch game. And the opening goes E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e takes d4, knight takes d4. That's the C45 Scotch game. And it looks like in Game 9, they played the B85 Sicilian again. So, must be a really good opening, because they played it over and over again. Game 10, looks like it's the C80 Roy Lopez Open Tarrasch defense. We already covered that in Game 6, so we're going to skip that one as well. The next one is Game 11. And let's see. They played a B78 Sicilian Dragon Yugoslav attack with move 10 castle queenside. And the opening went E4, C5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop e3, bishop g7, f3, castles kingside, queen d2, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop d7, castles queenside. That's the B78 Sicilian Dragon Yugoslav attack. Game 12. They played a C78 Roy Lopez with 5 kingside castles. And the opening went E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, castles kingside. That's the C78 Roy Lopez. The next game we're covering, they played a B77 Sicilian Dragon Yugoslav attack with the move 9 bishop c4. And the opening went E4, C5, knight f3, D6, D4, c takes D4, knight takes D4, knight f6, knight C3, G6, bishop E3, bishop G7, F3, castles kingside, queen D2, knight C6, and bishop C4. That was the B77 Sicilian Dragon. And the next one is the B01 Scandinavian defense. And the opening goes E4 and D5. That's the B01 Scandinavian defense. And if you come to this website, you can look at the entire guide. So I advise you do it. All right. Okay, the next one is similar to what we've covered, but it's still different. So let's cover it. It's a B76 Sicilian Dragon Yugoslav attack with move 7 kingside castle. In the opening went E4, C5, knight f3, D6, D4, c takes D4, knight takes D4, knight f6, knight c3, G6, bishop e3, bishop g7, f3, kingside castle. And that is the b76 Sicilian Dragon. And game 16, I think we've covered this one. I think that's one we covered a few times. Yep, the b85 Sicilian Scheveningen classical variation. And the next game 17, I think we covered that one. b78 Sicilian Dragon Yugoslav attack move 10 castle king queenside. We've covered that one. And the last game is also the b85 Sicilian Scheveningen. All right, so that some of the openings got played a few times. I guess they're really good openings. I guess. Looks like the decisive games were games 9 with the Sicilian Scheveningen. With the Roy Lopez, the Sicilian Dragon, another Sicilian Dragon, and the Scandinavian. So Kasparov actually won with the Scandinavian. So that's pretty good. Or playing against the Scandinavian. So maybe means it's not good to play the Scandinavian as black. That's what I get out of it. Well, those are all the games that were played. Again, Garry Kasparov won and kept his title. He won 10.5 to 7.5. And yeah, the one we covered before he lost. So luckily we get to see a few more of Garry Kasparov when he wins. So we'll cover that in the next video. I believe it's Garry Kasparov and Nigel Short. And let's just see. Yep. Garry Kasparov and Nigel Short in 1993. All right. So that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If there's any other tournaments you think I should cover, just let me know in the comments. And if I can find it on this website, then I will do it. So I hope you have a great one. Enjoy the weather, and I hope you have a great one. Like I said, enjoy your day. Bye.